So RidleyDragon and Jlambsy.
You have cards now.
Nice. I can talk about those. We got RidleyDragon versus Cookies Are Yum. Cookies Are Yum. My lore, as has been provided, is a Kuso threat, but first time in MT, and if it wasn't clear, they are also a MT threat. This is going to be a losers 5 match with the date to play Polari. RidleyDragon, doing well. Uh, long history. Best placement in MT12, coming in with a lot of people in MT10. Having a good race. 15 and 18, but by being in losers 5 has guaranteed that they are winning more games than they've lost this MT. Cookies is going to be a tough out, but as long as they don't get a game about potato chips or a game that's not about potato chips, we should be good. This is a double. We are going to be having a second race if you want to flip the cards if you have them potentially.
So considering the cropping here, and
Yeah,
you have cards.
let's go. Jlambsy, very similar to Cookies Are Yum. Just I think perhaps even more impressive in the races we've seen. I don't think Jlambsy's had many close races, racing against me included. On the other side, we got Rhelys, who is coming in from MT15, a positive racer, and that will only be getting better with their third edition here. They have been generally successful. These are the sort of racers you have to be able to handle if you're going to be in like losers 5, losers 6. I'm trying to find the race here. And is this winners?
This is losers
No,
5.
this is losers. Just losers 5. I'm just blind. How am I blind? It's fine. Losers 5. Um. Oh, these kind of feed close to each other. I mean, they'd have to beat Polari and someone, but these races are actually on the same side of the bracket. We should have uh 2 close races, assuming that the game isn't two towards a one person style. And I'll tell you for free, it's a puzzle platformer, which kind of tests everything. So
This is a lot more puzzly than the typical puzzle platformers we have. It's an MT classic. I think many people will recognize this when they see it.
yeah, I'm also looking at the level count and going, this is not a particularly high number.
Nope. This is a hard game.
Okay, how's chat doing? The gone. No, Harp Griffin, you've fallen for the biggest trap, which is saying that I am bad at games, therefore I shouldn't join MT. False. I am bad at many games, mainly platformers, which seem to be, as far as I'm concerned, the most common genre in MT. I joined MT. I have fun. And sometimes I get to be competitive or win a game. Uh, MT historically has had Roar advertise it as, do you think you can beat gamers? You can't beat gamers with like an Uncle Sam sort of impression. The reality is like 25% people would go 0-2, and like no matter who we have here, that's always going to happen. You can't feel bad about losing an MT. These gamers are very good. Uh, just join, have fun, and if you do well, you get to play lots of games. If you don't do well, you lose twice and you're out. It's fine. You get to see stuff. Even if you don't want to join MT, the races are available. Get in the Discord. We'll get you set up with the monster that is Speedruns Live and IRC and whatnot. And We can get you the paceman, we can get you the game, and you can join along with the racers, without the pressure of having to be competitive. So, either way, uh, we'd like to have you. And, hear me out, we do also sometimes have Find the Cat games. At least once it's empty. It looks like our, racers are basically done. I see a lot of good luck, have funds, which means I assume that you've got the cropping ready to go and we can get this started, FAO?
I believe Kookiez was just started on his stream, so I'm still getting the last cropping ready.
Okay. I'm very curious because I've been told this is a difficult puzzle game, and there are two kinds of puzzle games when you're commentating. Is one, puzzle games that are impossible to commentate because they're really hard and you're just trying to figure it out. And two, puzzle games that have a lot going on, and when you have four people doing it all at once, it's a lot. There is no, there is no middle ground. It is always difficult to commentate four puzzle games at once, so we'll have a fun time here.
I was going to ask why I was getting an orange screen for Jlambsy, but that's because Jlambsy is actually just showing an orange screen. Orange screen
Not
game?
not 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 even like a wallpaper. Just
No, just an orange screen. I actually have 4 games now.
welcome to the House of Pegirun. Um, it feels one letter off. Uh, but I'm looking at that text, and I don't want to be overconfident in saying it's Japanese, but
It's
2015 and
pretty clear
2017?
Japanese. From Mojazo.
Pegirun? Hmm,
Pegirun?
Pegirun? I don't know. Good luck, racers. Name of the game doesn't matter. It's what's put in front of you. It's gonna be 15 levels of puzzle platforming, and already this looks vaguely familiar. And the reason I'm a little bit concerned about why it looks familiar is things like Gladys Glasskeeper and other just MT classic hard games. I think I've seen this before. I do not remember anything about it.
Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a puzzle platformer that is kind of more puzzle than platformer because it's made
Uh,
by the Glabus people and the Glabus people make impossible levels.
looking at Jlambsy, already on uh level 2 and is pretending like this game is really easy. It has just been a platformer for them. There has been no puzzle. Just hit the thing in front of you, and you're good. And now you have blocks.
They're making blocks to stand on, so this is basically the last tape I get Glabus already.
Yeah, the reason blocks can be harder is there's like an incorrect way to go about them. Jlambsy goes through the whole level and then finds out that he destroyed the staircase and therefore cannot beat the level.
This game is mean, it will let you soft launch yourself. It doesn't care. You really need to think ahead about doing.
Yeah. It's always a bit weird when you like start a game and you just know nothing about it. These controls are not hard. Sorry, hiccups. There you go. Of just like, okay, is this a game where I can do whatever I want? We know this is not a game that you can do whatever you want. The game is actually asking you to do very specific things, and you will get soft locked if you don't do them. But the racers don't know that.
This one of
Definitionally,
our
they haven't
racers
seen the
knows
game.
that. Looks like it's a pretty close race. So pretty much everyone's still on 4-4 or 3.
Yeah, I think Jlambsy was was the early leader, but then had to do level 3 completely over. Do we have lives? I don't think so. Yeah, there's just nothing in the basement implying anything other than just beat what's in front of you.
Yeah, I do believe you can restart as many times as you want. You probably want this number to be 0, but it costs a lot of time because every time you restart, you have to do the entire level over again.
I think we're turning the corner. Level 5 looks like the level that at least somebody will spend a decent amount of time on. Just how do you get the middle block, I think is the question I'd like to ask myself before doing anything too silly. But apparently there were other issues, like Jlambsy's just soft locked themselves on this bottom left corner.
You get these super complicated levels where order of operations really matters and it's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you aren't doing the same mistake twice, I think you'll be fine. RidleyDragon's really trying to do this pixel jump, like he expects to get back on this ladder, and I'm not sure it's possible unless they've like done it before. They can just jump across. There you go.
There you go. Can you make that jump out?
Does it matter? All of these jumps suck. Yeah, all of them suck. Just like you can try and jump up, but you hit your head on the ceiling. You can. Maybe the answer is just go top to bottom. But you have to go at some point. Give yourself a thing to fall onto. So this middle. So how do you do this? Yeah, Ridley's correctly reached. How do you destroy that block? Is it, if at all possible, why is that block there if it's not destroyable? Okay, so you can shoot that block from below, and now you need to fall. So can you get back there, Ridley? No, I think you've run into the Jlambsy trap and will now die a sad, soft, lucky death. Is anybody else? Nope, Jlambsy has not shot the block up. They have not learned the lesson that RidleyDragon has learned. All 4 of our racers. So there's a couple things here, just to summarize. One, you need to get into the middle and shoot the block in the dead center under the door, because you cannot hit. Yeah, like we've just seen in our bottom left racer Rhelys, because you will need to fall through, and you cannot hit that block from above because you'll instead hit the blue block. Secondly, don't get soft locked in the bottom left. That's kind of just important. It's happened to I think all of our racers.
I had all the gems, but couldn't figure out how to get back up to the.
And then there's the third thing, which is how do you get back up to the door, which looks like it has to be on the left side. But how do you get back up to the left side? Good questions.
No one was able to do that yet.
Yeah, Kookiez is trying to learn the same lesson of can I get this gem? Okay. The answer is yeah, if you could get back up there one more time, but
I think the racers are slowly learning how to collect the gems, but you haven't learned how to get back to the exit.
yeah, there's like 4 different tricks that you have to do once you understand all 4 of those little traps, it's then a question of sequencing. Jlambsy has solved it, and now has to deal with enemies? I assume that
Not
you can't
something I
touch these guys?
considered. Went up from the right side. Just jumped up and created a block under him.
So our weapon is described as a freeze weapon, and I'm now seeing why, because the enemies don't seem to be frozen that long. Also, you destroyed your own staircase, so you lose. As a reminder for anybody who hasn't been here before, with a double, it's top versus top and bottom versus bottom. If anybody else can catch up to Jlambsy, it will not matter unless it happens to be our bottom left racer Rhelys. That being said, it is nice when you're in a double to beat all of your opponents. Feels good, but it's not in any way required. I think Jlambsy's making progress here. FFA, what game do you associate most with like jumping up and hitting a block below you to like give yourself a place to land?
It's a good question. It feels like a common mechanic, but I can't think of any game that.
Yeah, exactly. Chat will say something. It'll just be like Metroid and just like prove that I'm silly. But like in my mind, I'm like, it's actually kind of hard to think of one. And especially like I don't think it's like a particularly like Nintendo mechanic, which is where I first list games I should know about. Jlambsy's not been slowed down, by the way. We're already on floor 8. This is a race to floor 15. I wouldn't worry about having all of our racers finish quickly, but Jlambsy just keeps up this pace. Seems to be incredibly comfortable with the platforming portions, which I wasn't surprised. I think this is actually Jlambsy's like closest thing to a puzzle game that they've had so far in MT.
Wow.
Yeah, you can just see really good reaction time there from Jlambsy, which has been kind of obvious if you watch them in other races. They've been very good at no matter what like the format has been, be it like an FPS or just a more regular platformer. Just good timings. Kookiez Are Yum is going to be
good amount
our
of
second
foresight, avoiding the soft blocks. Like it's thinking about where to shoot, where he shoots it, which is probably contributing to it so far in the race.
Yeah.
Kookiez maybe not doing that, needing.
I mean, other than like the beginning of the race where it was who got comfortable with the idea of the game in the first 2 minutes. It's mainly been just how long somebody spent on floor 5. Kookiez Are Yum is trying not to fall for the trap, and it successfully avoids it. It's actually going to complete this level faster than Jlambsy, just because they were able to foresee the issue. Chat didn't give us an idea of a game that you shoot down to make a platform that is more commonly known, but like it shows up a ton in MT, in part because we play a lot of is it Boogalong games, where they love that mechanic. But
if a Boogalong game exists, you could bet there are like 4 people that submitted it. Maybe this is the new game mechanic now. When you think about this mechanic, you just think of how's it Pegirun.
I'm down. Okay. In our top right, Kookiez Are Yum is on floor 8, which Jlambsy rudely finished so quickly that I didn't have a chance to talk about it. Um, it looks like it's mainly just platforming. It's a lot of these like make a jump that's slightly uncomfortable, but just time your shot and you'll be fine. There hasn't been much puzzle. I am
Maybe.
curious what happens if you are in the middle of the ice block and then press it.
I think you just
But
get ejected to some direction. I think they did it several times already.
progress there from bottom left. Rhelys has made progression, and given that Jlambsy has stalled out a bit on floor 9, and nothing from floor 6 to 8 has really slowed down anybody who's been there so far. Bottom race is maybe a bit closer than it would look if you told somebody floor 7 to floor 9. This is a game that definitely has knowledge checkpoints, though. Like, Jlambsy has definitely learned a few traps that Rhelys is likely to run into on floor 9, and isn't like getting walled in anything in particular that will stop them forever.
I've been looking at this screen a lot, so I don't know what the crap is that is holding him back here on level 9. But either way, it does seem to know what he's doing pretty well. I guess this is a sticking point. How do you get up here? Oh. Very nice.
I like that last. Uh-oh. No, it's fine. Just gotta go quickly. I like the little like 4 blocks in a row because it's basically tutorializing. There's just kind of no way for you to get that without doing the little cool staircase move, which I assume will come up, but in a more puzzly sense in the future. You know, the other thing that reminds me of Glabus Glasskeeper is just the music. It's like simple, but like good.
I don't remember what the music for Glavis looks like. I think I.
Neither do I, and I will not
watched
remember.
Glavis.
That's kind of almost the comparison I'm trying to make. Is I remember enjoying myself, like playing Glabus, and in the same way, I will not remember this music, but it's like it seems right. Kind of reminds me of like what I imagine pyramid magic sounds like too.
I have 2 races on floor 9 now. Floor 9 also looks to be a bit of a sticking point.
Yeah. With the monsters dropping down, and them also being a platformer, like a platform that you have to be able to jump on. That's already a yeah. Like so, Kookiez are knock the monster down, but if you knock the monster down and have the block that it's standing on be untouchable, I don't know how you can turn the monster into ice in the future. So this is actually a much better state. And if you go through the whole puzzle not realizing that, then you spend a ton of time, and then you have to go do the platforming. You fell for it. How are you supposed to do this now, Kookiez?
And you can just drop that monster and use it as a platform. Assuming you pick the block under there.
Yeah, you have to go circle back to make that platform, and yeah, it just gives up. Meanwhile, Top left, Ridley's still on 5. It really is just the noisiest level. And from what I've seen, especially since it's been the puzzling and not the platforming that's been catching our players, I'm going to still say that 5 is harder than 9.
I think that's accurate. Okay, Cookiez sees it then.
Ridley looks like they're going to solve this. Yeah,
Yep.
good stuff, Ridley. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, 6, 7, 8 were all straightforward enough that it didn't give anybody much of a headache. If Ridley can clean this quickly, which they won't do on this attempt because they've messed up the opportunity here. But they can keep it competitive. Kookiez Aryum is getting stuck on the climbing wall, but there's no enemy here. There's nothing that can stop them from climbing here. Actually, maybe there is. How do you get that fourth one to not be full? Like, you can clear all 3 of these blocks, but I think that's actually really bad for Kookiez Aryum and their...
Soft lock now?
Yeah. That's really mean. I didn't know that was possible when we watched it on Jlambsy's side. And definitely wasn't foreseeable for Kookiez Aryum, but like, yeah, you just can't get that block. And the level itself, one, you have to remember everything that you did, which kind of sucks. Like, you can go through this level and kind of like 50-50 a puzzle and get right and not have learned the lesson. Please go grab the gem, by the way, Kookiez. Just the one that's just chilling on the bottom left. Yep. Level 10 there for Rhelys. Bottom race is competitive. I will tell you for free though. Levels 11 through 15 don't get any easier. We're gonna be here for a little bit.
I don't even know what to say about level 10, which is such a mess.
It's a lot of looping, based on Jlambsy's like portion that they've solved.
I guess it just kind of split it into.
Yeah, that was the other.
Section.
Can we afford to fall down here? We've gotten all the gems if we is Jlambsy, our bottom right player. But how do we get up? I think the answer is gonna be quickly.
All the way around.
So we have to hit this guy so he doesn't like kill us. Then quickly make a bunch of jump. No, not quick enough. And now, since we weren't quick enough, we have to loop around the whole level.
From scratch.
Yeah.
I see the vision.
So we gotta.
Yeah.
Yep. This game is a platformer. It's more puzzle, but like that was relatively tight for a game that could have easily just been a puzzle game. New mechanic here for our bottom right player, Jlambsy, who leads the charge of our 4 with timer blocks. Nothing about the top there looks needed, but maybe we're meant to. Oh, we're meant. Are these timers on the same timer, or if you
Each block has
like?
its own timer.
Yeah, so we need to get back to the left side potentially. So maybe we need to be very precise with our jumps. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Jlambsy fell for the old trap of just running across.
I mean, it doesn't look like
But
it's necessary because they respawn. I guess Jlambsy's platformer intuition told him that he should do that. Because in a lot of games you actually do need to do that.
but then now we're learning the lesson that you can wait for them to come back. Okay, reasonable game. Which is a surprising thing to be said
Yeah, this game is
of
not
this
reasonable.
developer.
This respawn mechanic is going to soft lock you at some point soon, I imagine. Oh.
Oh, up,
There
up,
it
up,
is.
up, 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 up. Okay, trying. It really wants to. Yeah. So that was God. I love this developer. Everything about that was teaching you how these mechanics work and what you're gonna run into in the near future. And then just at the very end of the level was oh, and were you paying attention? Because we're gonna soft lock you. They did the same exact thing on, I'm gonna say, level 3 of just trying to trap the the racer, but really anybody playing the game.
For those, you actually needed to time your jumps so that the respawns wouldn't get in your way.
There is no reason to jump into this pit until you've solved the bottom of floor 12. We just hugged the wall, right? There's not actually. Yeah, okay. It's just platforming. There's no puzzle.
Maybe that was maybe teaching you that you could hug the wall because there was no way to do that really.
Meanwhile, floor 10, which we know, both in just learning it is just a large level, but then also if the end will make you spend a lot of time, a reasonable place to spend a decent amount of time. Ridley, as expected, has made their way to floor 9 and has been there for a bit. Jlambsy does not care. Jlambsy is going to finish this race before anybody else gets to see these pink blocks if they're not careful. Whee! There's nothing better in video games than being on a thing that is pushing you up constantly with the ceiling right above you.
Jlambsy almost fell through the middle and then realized that would soft lock him. Very good foresight. Because this game is mean.
We still have another gem on the left side there, Jlambsy. Did you forget to grab it?
It didn't have that level of foresight.
Still hasn't grabbed it.
Traps within traps.
We can't get back up there. You have to do it quite
There's
early.
Also one gem in that position on each side. I don't know if you can grab that gem and then jump before that block respawns. About. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my assumption. Because I'm not sure how else. You could go off to the right side and then try and solve this whole side, but it's these two blocks that Jlambsy's on now that you can't beat unless you're stepping on them. So, yeah, this is the only option you had to go. And nice little precise jump. Anytime the game's asked for platforming from Jlambsy, they've just brushed it off.
So we have a technically tied race at the top now, both at 410.
Yeah, Kookiez Are Yum will need to learn how to loop, but they've gotten all the gems. You can't shoot that guy from below. The ladder is mean. And you can't make your way back up here without doing a full loop, if I recall. So, I'm sorry, Kookiez Are Yum, you are gonna have to just deal with it. Looking back at our Vanguard, Jlambsy on 14. This room only has 3 gems, so I think it might have had slightly more when we walked in here, given we have 2 out of 5 in the top left of their personal screen. Question is, how do we get these 3 gems and also get back here? Doesn't seem that hard, to be honest. The issue is, I guess, you have to do it really quickly because, for example, if you try and go down here on the left,
Jlambsy is super scared of getting soft locked.
I don't see the soft lock though. That jump's mean, but you could have solved that.
It wasn't
Yeah.
because that block disappeared, but if that block wasn't disappeared when he fell down, I think.
Yeah. Just taking a little think and then beating the game immediately with good platforming is really the best I think you can do. Jlambsy is really good at doing what I think of as like peak MT, which is if I'm watching you and I go, I can't imagine somebody going faster. That is the best you can do. And surprisingly, it turns out that there's actually a lot of different ways to look like you couldn't go faster. Like, it doesn't seem reasonable to solve a puzzle faster when you're watching somebody play a puzzle and then you watch somebody else do it and you're like, oh, apparently puzzles are actually really easy and this is free. But Jlambsy has really done a good job of like, they took a small thing, they completed the puzzle immediately, and I'm convinced that nobody could possibly do it faster. This is final floor for Jlambsy. Rhelys, who's doing really well, by the way. I don't think 29 minutes to get to floor 11, especially seeing that we're seeing them beat 2 other good racers to get here, is in any way slow. But Jlambsy doesn't care. Jlambsy has been perfect on the platforming and quite good on the puzzling in a game that's really mean.
It's another level that looks like it's all about planning your jumps so you don't have your path back soft locked, like just happened to Jlambsy. They did perfectly on 14, but this is the higher up version.
It is really weird that these screens are all the same size, but this one feels so much bigger.
Mouse curses strats, planning the route. Like we're playing Ringo's route up again.
What is the lore here, by the way? The important questions we gotta ask about any game that has 5 lines in the basement.
The basement could have had some lore. Who is Pegirun?
Is this our house, or are we, like, are we just a burglar? Like, we're getting gems in somebody's house.
Why are we invading Pegirun's house?
Because I don't think we're Pegirun, because you wouldn't make your house like this. This is a house meant to stop intruders. This is not a house for living in.
Right, I also like when my house doesn't kill me. I try to end it.
Okay, top race, Kookiez are Yum has taken what I'm going to call a significant lead, getting out of floor 10 and having a few more tutorially less brutal levels. Means that they can run away a bit from RidleyDragon, who is doing well. Like, still has a gem that in the bottom right that they haven't gotten for some reason, but it's this top right portion of the puzzle that is the hard part. I'm a bit concerned for RidleyDragon. They just missed the fact that they didn't get the bottom right this time. Yeah, there's a restart. I think RidleyDragon realized that they didn't do a thing that they like to do. Floor 13. These races are all close. Jlambsy's already shown us that you can beat floor 13 quite quickly, and Ridley's made the same mistake of not getting left gem first, but is quickly learning the lessons at least.
Who knows? Hopefully next restart we get the gem.
Okay. And there's a restart there from Rhelys. Lesson learned. It might be too little too late here. Jlambsy only has 1 gem left. How do you get back up there? Do you have to go the full way around? Oh no, that's really cute. I like that. That's a good puzzle.
No puzzle for the here. How to get this box to
Correctly, I think just standing here, not dealing with the puzzle. Don't interact with it until you have to. Don't you just drop down, and then time it to be able to jump back? Ugh, it's a bit nasty.
look a bit nasty. Because I think the top block needs to be the last one to finish, so maybe you want to fall down, finish everything, then jump back on the top block, then jump down again.
Yeah, I think that's my instinct. I would have probably just jumped down there and died already, though. I think Jlambsy is probably having the same thought. Nah, this... So, then jump up to the top. Nope, you're trapped.
Yeah, this is not gonna work.
This is what I wanted to do, and it doesn't work. And he's gonna try this for a little bit, but there's no like pixel jump here. We've seen enough players try and do this exact jump, and it just doesn't work. This game has not got the movement options of a lot of other games. A lot of other games would let you do this.
Pretty tricky to go down and only to go up again. I don't really think it through. You're gonna fall into the trap there.
This is also, I think, the first time that I've acknowledged that I've seen this game before. Because I remembered this trap. Okay. Rhelys is coming for you. Both Rhelys and Kookiez or Yum have gotten the left gem first. Kookiez Yum actually just getting everything at this point, moving on to level 14. I'm confident that Rhelys knows how to complete the rest of this level, because they've seen them do it before. Jlambsy, who's been really quick, just because these levels take 2 minutes to get back to where you started, feels kind of close to the rest of the racers here, including his actual opponent Rhelys.
You can see how hard 14 actually is, because Jlambsy made 14 look very easy, and now we have 2 other races to try it for the first time.
Both coming to the same conclusion of, hey, these 2 are free. What about the rest of this level?
That bottom part is scary. I don't actually remember what Jlambsy did. We'll see.
It's this bottom left that I think you can, like, lose on. You might already have lost, actually. I don't know if you can make any of these jumps.
Yeah.
It's the same, it's actually the exact same trap as level 15. And that final box of just having a block, like, above your head makes jumps impossible, because this game just does not have, like, half pixel jumps. Okay, Kookiez or Yum is panicking, but I think good to get this one. You didn't get the right block at any point, Kookiez or Yum. Also, you're inside a block now. I don't know if that's bad. Oh. Kookiez or Yum races across the level to grab the gem, gets back just in time to not get hit by the soft lock. That
I think that's actually
if you want
the solution.
Yeah, it's just mean. It doesn't feel like great timing, but is now in our diagonal race beat Rhelys to level 15, and in our top-bottom race, same level as Jlambsy. That's not how races work, but Rhelys isn't far behind Jlambsy either, who's back to the same state finally. How you doing, Jlambsy? Just move over it. Okay, Jlambsy's back to the final state. We both had the same thought at the same time of go down there, touch those blocks, then come back up here and touch the top block. As really the only... Well, no, how do you get back up there? It's the same spot.
Because if you make the top block disappear, then when you get back up, it's not gonna be there, and then you wait for it to come back up and up on it again.
Yeah, and then you touch it again.
Oh, but then the bottom two blocks will be there. Yeah, I'm not. This is the hardest puzzle in the goal because I remember having seen this race before.
Yeah, and it just sucks to get back here because you spend 2 minutes. Touch. So you, okay, so you touch top, immediately fall down, jump back out, touch that block again, and then I think you might be good to go in those like 3 seconds.
Something like that, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's just do one extra loop. Like this.
There we go.
Great. Jlambsy not touching the block that they need to staircase out, which I think might be a step that I didn't say. But I really like the way that Jlambsy approached this game, of just like, when I have a moment and the puzzle is not immediately clear, just take it and just stand there on a block that isn't going to disappear or do something stupid to you. And a lot of the time, was able to solve it from that state without having to run face first and then complete the level further. GG's, and a rough loss there for Rhelys, who's doing really well as far as I'm concerned. Looks like we got a forfeit there from Rhelys, or Rhelys is joining the waiting room while still racing. Either one.
It is in fact a forfeit from Rhelys. Unfortunately,
There
it
is
was pretty
yeah.
close for me though.
Jlambsy commenting, I wanted platformer, I got platformer. For some definition of platformer, sure. Neither of these two are racing if you want to put it into 1v1 mode.
Right, it's a good idea. We do have pads.
There we go. Audio on Ridley's side. Kookiez is the race leader up here in what was our top race. Floor 15 is the last level. So if Kookiez can finish this, it will give RidleyDragon no opportunity for a comeback. As we know, the most difficult part here is the very last gem, the very last puzzle. But Kookiez is still dealing with, you know, the platforming portions, the other puzzles, because this room also has a lot of spikes and a lot of ways to go wrong. That's progress music for Ridley onto floor 11, and it's the new mechanic, which means this level's slightly easier than the last ones.
Hardest part of floor 10 also being the last part, which is really mean for this game where you have to do the entire level again if you fail.
Okay, you have fallen for trap number 1, Ridley. How do you get that gem that's above you? I think the answer is don't see it, pretend like you can just keep on going and then be sad.
Right, yeah. If you don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Has learned how the blocks work though, so can just do this without having to do fancy jumps. It's hard to tell. So we have our other race waiting in the white room, and like some part of me is like, we could drag him in here. We're gonna be here for 20 more minutes. But Kookiez Are Yum could literally take anywhere from like 2 to 30 minutes on this last part. I'm hoping it's more on like the 5 side, but that last puzzle is mean as I recall.
Generally, Maurice is a bit particular about not doing interviews until the race is done. This is
Yeah, but Maurice is asleep. I hope. No, I think it's good practice, but more just a way of saying I really do think this last puzzle is one that can wall for a long time. Because Kookiez Are Yum isn't getting there, by the way. Like, this is the issue with this last puzzle, is even if you understand how to get all these gems, which Kookiez has done, there's still a bunch of little precise jumps. Is still like these potential soft locks and stuff you have to do to get there. How do you get down? And the answer is, I'm not sure you particularly do. You have to do like, I think again, it's like a 2-loop thing. Like you have to get rid of the blocks that are annoying, and then do it again. RidleyDragon, I think 4 for 4 on people who didn't realize had to get the left block or the left gem first. Floor 13 has not been particularly brutal for our racers, but has caught them all off guard. You reached the finish and you didn't have a gem. Sorry, Ridley. Try again.
once it said it, it was pretty clear to me that you could just grab that gem and come back, but I think it would, if I were playing, I would just not see that gem and fall for the same trap.
Okay, Kookiez. Can you solve a puzzle by looking at it? Because if you jump in that pit, you will die. Just good instinct here from Kookiez, just to wait it out. Just knows that this, everything they're looking at here doesn't add up. Come on, Ridley, it's just one more gem.
Kookiez already has been punished to do this
Kookiez is
several
asleep.
times. Doesn't want to
Didn't
have to
really-
do it again.
We have a little, like, Mario is sleeping animation. It's so cute. Chat, I'm gonna ask the tough question. Was there a game prior to Super Mario 64 that had your player fall asleep? If you just weren't there for a bit? Because I assume there had to be, but I can't think of it very often, like a 2D game, and if it's a 3D game before Super Mario 64, that would be wild. Generally not a long list. Oh, Sonic. There we go. Easy answer. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me about a game that you shoot down that's like more more well known than House of Pegirun, but we only have a full chat thinking about things I'm talking about, and most of you aren't actually thinking about anything I talk about. You're just watching the gameplay, which is vaguely exciting. Ridley doing the exact same thing as everybody else of getting the top 2 and then thinking it out. Ooh, cave story. Or a story in a cave. Is cave story is the exact sort of game where I feel like our community knows more about it than like an average person, though. Like, it is obviously more well known than House of Pegirun, but it surely can't be the answer to my question. Okay, we got action. Kookiez is willing to move around.
I thought Kookiez had a vision when they stepped on the top block, then stepped on the bottom block, then jumped back. But apparently,
They are so afraid, and it's so justified.
Real.
Just every bone in your racer body just says, you gotta go, bro. Like, your opponent might be here. I'm not helped by there being a non-racing finish there. While you're just sitting here looking at a puzzle you're correctly have determined is going to trap you. Unless you do it very precisely and very correct. Okay, get out of there, get out of there!
Oh no, Kookiez is
Nope.
trapped.
And now he's gonna try and do this pixel jump 9 times before he gives up. That's once. That's twice. That's 3 times. That he just didn't jump, so I won't count it for his sake.
Was it an attempt? I think we can count it.
I mean, if this jump's possible, it will be absolute news to me. It's just denial. You gotta, in this pit, you gotta get through the 5 steps of accepting that this game is just soft locking you.
Yeah. We've seen that angry mouth shakes, but that's the first time we see the angry paws.
Are you allowed to comment before you finish the race? Is it possible to type .comment before .done? Okay, now you're just actually soft locked. Saved from yourself there, Kookiez. Yeah, it sucks, right? Like, he just spent so much time, like, actively going, okay, this is going to trap me. I need to think of a solution. Spent, I don't know, 1/10 of his race just standing on that block, and then it didn't work. And now he has to go through a puzzle that he actually has spent a few minutes not thinking about, trying to get these gems.
I think that might have been actually 9 attempts at making that jump, so with a good crystal ball knowledge here.
I counted like 6 or 7, but
Oh, I was also counting the ones where the jump didn't go off. So
oh, just couldn't even get to the right side. Yeah, sure. You gotta try. I mean, we've seen more games than not can be broken if given enough time and effort. Okay, so can RidleyDragon here on our left side come to the conclusion that the other three racers have, which is you need to be very quick to run over to the right side? The answer is close, actually. He almost had that.
Yeah. He came to the
Okay.
conclusion, but he wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, he'll get it here next time, assuming that he doesn't miss input. Because I don't... It's tight. It is not a nice thing for the game to ask you to do, but I think the bigger issue was knowing that it was in fact possible, which it was.
I have to hope that he doesn't think that he came to the wrong conclusion.
Why is he jumping there? Okay, here we go. Okay. So I think he's doing it slightly differently. He's trying to get like 2 blocks further than other than just like jumping up from like close to mid-screen. It will all be for moot if Kookiez or Yum can first get the bravery to jump into the pit and then also do it successfully. Ridley's found a solution that he thinks should work and is getting bullied either by just slightly off platforming, or I think actually the answer is it's like the second best solution. Thankfully, unlike level 15, the resets aren't like that painful. You can get back to this run across the level state.
He's asking the race chat, can I make the corner jump? No, you can't. But I also don't think we.
Oh, nobody will answer. Nobody will answer that. If anybody does answer that, shameful. Yeah, thank you, Muir, for quickly shutting it down before somebody gets excited, going no. I remember my first MT race. It was actually, yeah, it was the one that you submitted, and we had to redo, where I literally just typed help into the chat. I was like, I know that nobody will respond, but please. Okay, big catch up. Level 15, I'm gonna say, mainly because this last part is just so mean that this is the hardest level. Ridley has gotten a lot of knowledge and about everything else except for this last trick. But this last trick, I mean, the dude's asking in race chat if he can, just is desperate. If Ridley has a different idea once he gets there, that might be enough. We're approaching an hour. The brain cells have reached their full use. It's anybody's game.
Basically down to this last puzzle, and Ridley had shown some good intuition for these spots. Maybe we can help this puzzle.
Yeah.
I think it's anyone's race at this point.
This might not be true, but I'm gonna argue that Ridley was about as fast through 10 through 14 as all the other racers. It was mainly like the big walls earlier, which have been these like multiples of 5s, like 5, 10, and now 15, have been these like brutal levels. But Kookiez has gotta get out of this pit. First and foremost, we gotta restart. You ain't making this corner jump. A little bit of like gamesmanship, racemanship. If RidleyDragon jumps in the pit and finds out that his opponent has asked about corner jumps, you got a couple things, right? One is, wait a second, my opponent is most definitely here on the same spot that I'm at. For whatever that entails. Like, you're also right next to the finish. I don't think that should actually change your gameplay much. Secondly, not to do corner jumps. I assume if the corner jumps were possible, your opponent would have won already. So don't do that. Just reset faster. Cookies Are Yum is given a little bit of the game away, but really just needs to hit.
Ridley tried doing corner jumps a lot and so couldn't do it. So maybe I already knew that possible.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think everybody in this game has tried to do corner jumps. It's just we've now had 2 races in a row, FAO, of pure desperation. of racers just looking at the thing that is in front of them and going, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm good. What could I do to not be here, game? And then the game just stubbornly looks back at them and goes, be better. Get good. I hope Jlambsy and Rhelys are watching this and enjoying people going through the same tough stuff as them. We are tied, and I will argue RidleyDragon might actually be winning because they're not in the pit currently. They are quickly going to be in the pit. Congratulations, you're in the pit. It's tied.
RidleyDragon didn't have this knowledge that it's traps you. No. I guess they have
And is now going to try corner jumps, as you know, 9 times. We've been here before. No, shooting the block doesn't work. You die. It's a race to find the reset button, which has happened a few times this MT. There was like literally a game that had a tutorial like the only way to beat this level is to reset, and it was like level 2. RidleyDragon, the mature racer, has hit the retry button and is currently, as far as I'm concerned, winning because they are closer to getting to the pit and trying again. Whew.
A lead change according to a huge catch-up / comeback either way.
Yeah. I mean, as a reminder, so for this particular race, this is Cookies Are Yum, and this is their first MT. They've done a lot of blind racing, mainly through Kuso, if not only through Kuso, but first MT versus RidleyDragon, who's like a slightly under 500. For either player to win this race will be like a fantastic either intro to MT or for RidleyDragon. I think we saw that they've had a 17th before. They're getting pretty close to that if they win this race, so good stuff. If it's just a maturity race, if it's just RidleyDragon just being much quicker to admit that they have made a mistake and retry, put it on the list of the 30 different skills you need to be good at to be able to be good at MT. Just a belief that you've messed up and be able to admit it.
It is a hard puzzle, but also there are not that many things you can try.
Yeah, it just kind of sucks.
That it's not the corner jump, and you just need to solve it as a puzzle. Then
okay. How much of a think is Ridley gonna put here now that he knows that this is? Oh God, the answer is none.
None at all. Welcome to the pit.
This is the other way of going at this puzzle, which is spending 10 seconds going, I'm in a race, bro. What do you want from me? This is the 2 sides of the same coin, and that coin's gonna be here for a bit.
Obligatory corner jump attempt.
You gotta shoot the block, learn how the mechanics work. Ooh, that feels good. The jumping off the block and then shooting down does not give you any height, but it feels good. Okay, Kookiez is the clear leader of this race, as they are not in the pit currently.
I don't know if Ridley saw the solution. I think they saw like first level in which you need to have that top block cleared out, but he didn't see that he needs to clear the bottom, then jump back up top so he can clear the top block again. Just to,
Cookies got this. Cookies got this. Go 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 go! No 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 no
No!
no 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 no!
Cookies
Okay.
actually has a solution now.
Mechanical error. Yeah, they had that. Just knowing that if they could execute the jumps, they would be good. I assume just their heart rate spiked and just dropped the ball there, but now knows that they have it and is
Going super
actually
fast.
not spending any time going there. Like, this is actually not that hard apparently to get back here. Top block, middle block, get out of there. Top block.
Okay. Yeah, this should be good.
Easy peasy.
Nice.
It's not actually that hard. Get out of here. Hit
Top
dot done.
donor.
1 minute, hour, 3 minutes. Cookies are yum. Chat and God knows that most of it was just standing in this stupid pit. Forfeit there from Ridley, but they got 99% of the way there. No shame there. Let's go talk to Jlambsy so they can complain about the pit too. Hello, Jlambsy.
Hello.
Question for you, lore-wise.
Mhm.
House of Pegirun, are we invading someone's house? What's your thoughts on the whole thing?
Well, at the beginning, you see a castle with a path going towards it. So yeah, I think you're. Now, is this Pegirun's house, or is it like a magical MacGuffin that's named the Pegirun, and you're trying to get to it?
Cool. I'm down that you're always game for this stupid interview. Let's actually talk about the game. You did not run into, I'm gonna say, either as many roadblocks as our other racers for a lot of the race. But obviously the last level is kind of mean. 5 and 10 are also mean. How much frustration were you having live with these like particularly difficult levels and having to repeat?
Uh, I'll have to double check on 10. Which one was 10 again?
It was the one right before like the transition to the time blocks.
Oh, is this the one where it was the you had I kept going the left side on that one first, and that wasn't the right way. I had to go right.
10 was
I
the
think-
one that you had the
And you had to like freeze the guy at the top of the ladder and run down.
yeah, it had like that little time sequence where you had to freeze the guy at the top of the ladder and
Yeah,
then
that one was frustrating for me. 5 was more frustrating because I saw the answer really early, and then I kept messing up one thing during it as I'm running through. It's like, oh, I forgot to get this block. Oh, I did this block too early. But I saw the answer to 5 right away.
Cool.
15.
yeah. Were you watching the stream of watching the other
Oh.
racers go through it?
My wife and I were watching it there, and oh, it was heartbreaking a couple of times. But like seeing Cookies stop there and just stare at the pit for about 5 minutes, knowing like, okay, there's only how many moves? How does this work?
Yeah, and then jumping in the pit and finding out that no,
And then
in
the
fact,
Poor
it was
corner
precisely what you
jumps.
thought it was.
Yeah, the poor corner jumps. I tried corner jumps. I think it would have been 10. I tried them on, and I figured out pretty quickly that's not the solution. So when I got locked in the pit, I didn't even try. It's just like, no, let's move on.
Yeah. I was mentioning at the beginning of the race that you have run into a lot of not necessarily platformers, but like twitchy games, and you looked very comfortable again on the platforming portions of this game. But this is your first puzzle, right?
No, second, I had recursive Sokoban as my first
Oh,
game.
yeah, that doesn't count. First game doesn't count.
I still see infinite blocks when I close my eyes.
Yeah, I recall when I played you in like your third game, I was like, I think I want puzzle against Jlambsy because you look very comfortable on the platforming. Obviously, like with having to repeat the levels, like the platforming also just becomes slightly more important over time because you're just needing to be precise to not repeat things you already know the puzzle solution for.
Yeah.
You did make the joke there, like, ooh, I asked for a platformer in chat, or Rhelys was asking for a puzzle game. So,
Yeah.
am I all right in my assumptions? You just want to jump around?
You know what? Give me the Bing Bing Wahoo, and I'll be happy.
What's your preferred number of jumps? Do you want a double jump? You feeling like a triple jump?
You know what? Jumps, air dashes. I've been playing a lot of like Metroidvanias and everything, and chaining together movement. I love playing Portrait of Ruin casually and showing somebody who's never seen speed strats for that, because you just spam Charlotte Jonathan the entire time.
Okay, so Kirby game. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, this is your first time joining MT, and you're having a good time of it, with winning games. I'm not sure if you're still in race chat. They are litigating the stupid pit. Poor Kookiez and Ridley are just discussing how to possibly get out of the pit. And I'm gonna argue that Kookiez might not be the best expert on it. Might actually be. He spent more time looking at it than anybody else. So, yeah, tough game, but they're all tough. They're all tough opponents. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. No, I'm at the point now where I feel like I kind of have to try and make the losers bracket run.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, you got Polari next. Then it doesn't get any easier. If you beat Polari, you'll actually face either someone 325, top 8 regular, or the person I'm about to drag into chat right now. Kookiez are young. Hello, Kookiez.
Man, my head. My last game was a puzzle game, wasn't it? Also,
This is the platformer game with some puzzle. Don't know who told you otherwise.
How did you enjoy your time in the pit, TM?
Yeah, I enjoyed AFKing, just thinking. Yeah.
I was talking with Jlambsy here in the interview, and he mentioned that him and his wife were watching after he had completed, and just watching either you just standing over the pit, and getting the like sleeping animation, or
yeah, at least I got to see an idle animation. I was like, oh, there's a different animation for just standing there because I don't know what to do. I was like, I was like 80% sure you can't make that jump. It's like it won't let you do that pixel jump. So, but then it's like I don't know what else to do to try. So I tried it for like 4 minutes or 3. It just doesn't work. I'm like, okay, definitely can't do that.
Yeah. No, I was saying earlier, I found out that pixel, like the corner jumps, do not work. Probably about stage 10.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just was not thinking. Like the rest of the whole puzzle, the 15 map, everything it was all about timing and delay, waiting the clock down. So why is it not the last one? Of course, the last part of the map is the same concept. I don't know why I just didn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think when you finished, like when you beat it, you made it look really easy. Like you just had kind of you had perfect timings on your drops.
The last 2 retries, I'm like, okay, I got it. Like I knew how to do it immediately, but then I messed up the first time.
Oh, it was so sad. If that had been the race difference, it would have been so sad. Cause like you clearly had it, but like the way I described it is like just a heart rate jump of going, wait, I've got this. And as soon as that happens, you just gotta trust that your fingers clutch it, and it didn't the first time. You look so confident platforming through the level to finish it off the second time. And big GG's. I was just mentioning, we're looking at Jlambsy. He's gonna be playing Polari. You've got a date with someone 325. Neither of you are gonna have work cut out for you, or not cut out for you, whichever one's the actual saying. But in theory, if you guys both win, you could both play each other in Lizard 7.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kookiez.
More puzzles. Looking forward to more puzzles.
Yeah. How's your draws been compared to like what you wish that you'd been drawing? Were you asking for puzzles and then got handed this
No,
by?
no. I was not asking for puzzles.
I mean, this is a platformer.
Yeah.
I will give you guys some and I guess chat some backs. They do mark games as like more difficult. Like, okay, we can't hand this to somebody in winners 1. They will never come back. So
Oh.
there are some games that you'll see in the pool that are like, please only give to people who are in late, and then some that obviously just haven't been drawn by randomness. So you are slightly more likely to get mean game. Let's get Ridley in here so they can also complain about the pit. Hello, Ridley. This is Pit Support Group. You
Pit
can say your
Anonymous.
name and how long
I-
you were stuck in the pit.
Oh, the last diamond. Until someone told me what to do there, that was fucking evil.
I don't know how long
I
he was in there.
I got stuck for a number of stages for a while.
Yeah.
And so some of it was that the game wanted to also be a precision platformer at the same time, which was stupid.
Yeah, you had actually a pretty valiant comeback here.
I
The lads in
yeah,
chat here.
if I could figure out the pit, I would have won.
Yeah, and that's the
I-
actual reality is
I hit that 2 times.
it came down to it. The interesting thing
games.
that I wanted to discuss is in race chat, Kookiez was asking about if a corner jump was possible. Was there any like
so.
consideration in your mind of going, if my opponent's asking if corner jump's possible and I'm now trying to do a corner jump, maybe this isn't the best idea?
Well, I just couldn't figure out what the hell to do. Like I was really just that last time when I started doing 15 corner jumps was out of sheer like desperation and frustration because I didn't want to restart that fucking level again.
You weren't the most to do desperation corner jumps. You were actually quite quick as far as I'm concerned of getting in and out of the pit.
No, that was like if you're playing Link to the Past randomized, that was like dropping 10 bombs on the pedestal when you learn that you need to do the pedestal when you skip all the dungeons. That was just frustration.
You have
And
two people who are laughing every time you mention it because you have comrades in this. With the rest, I know you mentioned that the platforming there being difficult was adding on to the puzzling. But were you enjoying yourself
No.
up until?
No,
Fair enough.
Maybe a little bit. I hate puzzle games.
Okay, we got 3 people here who didn't want to see a puzzle game and got a puzzle game.
It's impossible not to get puzzle games. A quarter of the games in this stupid tournament every year are puzzle games. They're wildly overrepresented. You know, it's I don't submit enough either, so it's partially my fault. But if I'm playing next year, you better believe I'm going to submit like 20 or 30 non-puzzle games.
This is why someone like Fabs has submitted every FPS they've ever known. We gotta get FFAO back in business. We gotta get more racing games in here. Either way, we're sorry to see you go. This is a good run though. Losers,
Oh, it was
losers 5.
yeah. I won the 3 non-puzzle games and lost the 2 puzzle games. This is what happens every single year to me. I hit the 2 puzzle games, or I hit 1 puzzle game and 1 awful, terrible game, which might as well just be a dice roll.
Amen. Me, but the other way around. I'm just here for the puzzles and not here for the platformers.
Yeah. I'm gonna flood the zone next year with non-puzzle games. I swear to God.
Do it. MT20,
Yeah, I'm gonna-
biggest MT ever. Let's do it. And we need to get some actual games in here.
Yeah.
MT20 now with no puzzles.
Every time that I see a retro platformer that would make me sad, I just submit another puzzle game. So it's my fault.
Well, stop that.
Stop that.
Before I get booed out of this room, FAO, do you want to show us the schedule? Some nice calm golf music. This will calm you guys down from the pit. We've got
I maybe broke an Xbox controller, but go on.
we've got 3 we've got 3 games on the schedule. I got 2 racers here still in who can get their games on the schedule here too. To note, looks like Lizard 6 is by February 28th, so get him in here. As a reminder, the reason why we have to do that is we do have our deadline for top 8. It won't be on this channel. It will be on the GDQ hotfix channel. So we just gotta finish these up. Again, to our racers, congratulations to our winners and commiserations to everybody.
Congrats, Cookies.
Thanks. It was
Yes, congrats.
hard fought.
Hard fought is a strong word. We both suck at puzzle games, and you got the answer quicker than me.
We have formed an unbreakable brotherhood over the pit.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. We'll see you guys, at least Ridley, but we'll see, I hope, all of you in MT20 when there will be no more puzzle games because every single game submitted will be by you three just submitting anything but puzzle. And then
Yeah.
you go, but this game's a puzzle platformer and it's mostly platformer, and then you'll break your, and then it'll all go downhill. Um, but thank you guys for having us. Thank you, FAO, for hosting. It's lovely to have you back in business uh, in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for commentary
All right,
and
thanks, guys.
So you-
see you next time.
Thanks all.
Until next time.